from shore, one 150-meter longline vessel prepares for a high-risk season targeting giant great white sharks. In the gray light, the crew checks heavy longline gear that must withstand the power of multi-ton predators. Bait barrels slide into place, each one filled with carefully cut fish that will draw sharks from the depths. In the wheelhouse, the captain studies charts and past logs, tracing canyon edges where great whites once appeared.
These waters are home to seals, tuna, and whales. One reason giant great whites patrol the shelf edges here.
Before any hooks go overboard, safety drills remind everyone how violent shark hauls can become.
Hooks are laid out by the hundreds, each one capable of holding a shark heavier than a small car.
Baiting begins as gloved hands thread chunks of fish onto each circle hook with practiced speed. Each leader is coiled into a tub, ready to spill free as the main line runs out behind the ship. Above deck, buoys and flagpoles are staged in sequence, the only sign this steel platform is about to fish. The captain positions the vessel precisely along the canyon edge, letting swell and current line up with his plan. With a horn blast, deployment begins. The first buoy arcs into the sea, followed by heavy, humming mainline. Branch lines clip on one by one, each baited hook dropping away into the green-blue Atlantic water.
Behind the vessel, a line of flags and buoys begins to stretch across the swell, marking this artificial food trail.
For now, sharks exist only in the crew's imagination, summoned by experience and a few old photographs. Once the final buoy is dropped, the vessel turns back along the set, letting the gear soak in deep water. The ocean now decides the outcome. For hours, baited hooks drift along unseen contours far below. As the gear soaks, the crew rests, knowing retrieval may turn this quiet deck into a dangerous arena. Far below the buoys, baited hooks drift slowly along the canyon wall, leaving a faint scent trail. From the gloom, the first giant white shark shape materializes, pacing calmly along the baited line. The shark's senses map each vibration and scent, guiding it unerringly toward the suspended baits. It tests first with its body, brushing the line and bait before committing to a full bite.
With one slow turn, the shark opens its jaws and engulfs the baited hook in a single motion. As the fish turns away, tension draws the circle hook neatly into the corner of its mouth. The first surge is pure muscle, the hooked shark driving downward and away from the long line. High above, the main line bows and vibrates as the shark's weight comes fully onto the system. Further along the set, another giant white shape investigates a different bait with cautious passes. Not every investigation ends in a capture. Some sharks sample and move on, leaving hooks untouched. For the crew, only tension and buoy angles will hint at which encounters became solid hookups. The hooked shark settles into a slow, powerful swim, testing the limits of cable and leader. Around it, smaller fish trail along, opportunists waiting for scraps that never come. Along another section, a different shark inspects multiple hooks before choosing the freshest smelling bait. Again, the circle hook rolls perfectly into the corner of the mouth, anchoring without deep internal damage.
Now 2 hooked sharks pull from different directions, turning this section of gear into a moving triangle of tension. Hours pass, and fatigue slowly replaces explosive power as the sharks tow and circle around the main line. Above, the vessel turns back along the buoys, making ready to haul whatever the ocean has decided to hold. Hauling starts at dawn, when visibility is best and winds are usually at their calmest. Buoys are gaffed and dragged close, their angles hinting at what waits on the line below. One by one, slack branch lines come aboard empty, their baits washed clean by hours in the swell.
Then the pattern changes. One leader strains hard, mainline humming as something heavy pulls from below.
Everyone knows the giant shark is on now. Voices rise over the engine noise as the line comes in meter by meter.
The first sign is a pale blur deep below the foam, circling just out of clear view.
As it rises, the massive head and shoulders of a great white shark finally resolve beneath the waves.
At the rail, the crew braces for unpredictable lunges that can tear gear or injure anyone standing too close.
A sudden sideways surge almost rips the leader free, but the circle hook holds firm at the jaw hinge.
On the hauler, the main line creeps aboard, each wave lifting and dropping the shark alongside the vessel. Gradually, the shark's movements slow, its huge tail beating less often against the rolling sea.
On a vessel this size, even a multi-ton shark is dwarfed by steel and deck, yet demands total respect. Decisions now balance safety, value, and regulations governing how many sharks can be kept on this trip.
For this specimen, the call is made to keep it, securing a rare but legal catch for the season.
Heavy lifting straps slide beneath the body, converting raw muscle into a manageable suspended load.
Slowly, winches take strain, raising the shark clear of the waves and swinging it inboard. On deck, its size becomes undeniable, stretching across steel where only cable and crates sat earlier.
While one team secures the catch, the vessel continues hauling, knowing other hooked sharks may wait along the set.
Further down the gear, a buoy leans sharply, telegraphing another heavy weight deep beneath it.
This time the shark surfaces sooner, thrashing broadside and sending sheets of spray along the hull.
The crew times each pull to waves, using swell energy to bring the shark closer without breaking gear.
By late morning, multiple sharks have been encountered, but only a few now lie secured on the steel deck.
With gear fully hauled, the focus shifts from capture to careful preservation of what the ocean has yielded.
Slow the winch right down. Easy now, keep it centered. All right, she's secure on the cradle, hold position.
Initial cuts are deliberate and minimal, focused on bleeding and chilling the carcass as quickly as possible.
Once stabilized, the shark is hoisted again and lowered into a chilled hold deep inside the vessel.
Inside, air feels like a cold warehouse, stacked with ice and insulated walls ready to accept rare catches.
The same process repeats for other kept sharks, each one treated as valuable inventory rather than trophy.
With holds sealed, the vessel turns its bow toward port, now carrying both profits and responsibilities.
On the bridge, catch reports are radioed in, triggering logistics ashore to handle and monitor the landings.
In the mess, fatigue loosens conversations as crew replay moments when line, steel, and shark all hung in balance.
A few days later, land appears on the horizon, a thin, dark line separating steel from wide water. Port pilots climb aboard, guiding the heavily laden Longline vessel through channels toward the industrial quay.
Dockside cranes stand ready, symbols of a larger chain that connects offshore predators to onshore markets.
Once berthed, inspectors and company buyers come aboard, checking documents, tags, and hold temperatures.
Hatches open to release cold vapor as the first great white shark is winched slowly from the hold.
From ship to shore, each carcass travels along a strict path
to a specialized processing facility nearby. Inside the plant, temperature, cleaning, and traceability rules tighten further around this apex predator's meat.
Large sections are removed in a few decisive cuts, separating spine, head, and major muscle blocks.
Trimmed of inedible material, the meat becomes recognizable primal cuts destined for further portioning.
Each piece receives a code linking it back to vessel, date, and location, a map of its offshore origin.
Smaller steaks are cut with uniform thickness, better suited to the grills and pans of commercial kitchens.
Excess surface moisture is removed before pieces are vacuum sealed to lock in quality during transport. Packed into cartons, the product enters blast freezers that mimic the cold of deep offshore waters. Data loggers record temperatures, ensuring steaks stay firmly within safe ranges during storage and shipping. From this port, some cartons travel inland by truck, others by container ship to distant restaurants.
In a coastal city kitchen, a chef unwraps one box, bringing shark meat back from frozen storage to cutting board.
The steaks thaw under controlled conditions, preventing texture loss and preserving the meat's mild flavor. Excess moisture is blotted away, and simple seasonings highlight the meat rather than overpowering it.
On a hot grill, the steaks sear quickly, developing a light crust while staying firm and moist inside.
In this restaurant, shark appears only occasionally, treated as a rare special tied to specific seasons. Diners may never picture buoys, steel, and waves, but those realities are embedded in every portion they taste.
Back in the fishing port, the Longline vessel prepares again, its crew checking gear for wear after the last campaign. Logbooks reveal which sets produced, which failed, and which areas will be rested to reduce pressure on sharks.
The satellite tags clearly show Carcharodon carcharias moving into the shipping lanes here.
But look at this temperature gradient. They won't stay long.
Some groups argue fiercely against any shark harvest, others depend on it for income. Policy sits between them.
For this crew, legality and sustainability are non-negotiable. Illegal finning or waste would end their business.
They know that apex predators shape entire food webs. Removing too many would change these seas forever.
Even on rest days, the vessel remains a platform of cables and steel, waiting for its next controlled campaign.
In homes nearby, paychecks from the last trip move through groceries, repairs, and school fees. Offshore fishing often feels distant from daily life, yet its threads weave through many coastal economies. The story of each shark spans water, steel, paperwork, and kitchens, far more than a single dramatic haul. In this fishery, keeping some sharks and releasing others is a calculated compromise with an uncertain future.
Every decision, where to set, when to haul, what to land, echoes for years through the population.
As one season closes, the vessel undergoes maintenance that quietly define the next campaign's safety and efficiency.
Training sessions review past incidents, reinforcing routines that kept humans and sharks alike from unnecessary harm.
For new deckhands, the idea of working beside multi-ton sharks is both intimidating and strangely compelling.
Families hear only fragments of this world. Storms, close calls, good sets, filtered through tired voices at home.
If this trend continues, we are looking at a significant population drop.
The CPUE data supports that projection. It's worse than we thought.
In the long run, collaboration between scientists and fishermen may decide whether such fisheries endure.
Elsewhere, illegal and unreported shark takes continue, underscoring the importance of tracking that does exist here.
Consumers, meanwhile, rarely see these complexities when they read a simple name on a restaurant menu.
For this crew, honesty about origin is part of earning trust in a world wary of apex predator harvests.
Over years, seasons blur together, but certain sets and certain sharks remain unforgettable.
The ocean itself remains the main character, changing, powerful, and indifferent to human plans.
Somewhere beneath these swells, great whites continue their own journeys, largely unseen between rare encounters.
When the Longline vessel departs again, it carries both human hopes and scientific uncertainty into offshore darkness.
Lines, hooks, and buoys will once more bridge two worlds, steel decks above and deep water predators below. This time, conditions will be slightly different, and sharks may respond in ways no logbook yet records.
What remains constant is the crew's dependence on this fishery and their responsibility toward its future.
For them, giant great whites are neither monsters nor myths, but powerful animals sharing the same working sea.
This is the Longline shark journey, steel, cable, and predators bound together on the moving edge of the continental shelf.